some 1/8 scale monster truck to show you. Now this bad boy is a 1/8 scale monster truck from ZD Racing. It's brushless, 4-wheel drive, and it's ready to run, and it's under $240 US. That's right, $239 at the time of this video, US dollars. It is pretty amazing value for 1/8 scale brushless, ready to run RC car. Now if you're interested, go check it out. The link is down in the description down below. But I think a lot of you guys will like this car. Some of you guys might want a 1/8 scale monster truck, but don't want to spend too much. For example, we have the awesome DHK Hobby Zombie 8E, which is fantastic. It costs just over $360 US. So if you don't have enough money, but you want a 1/8 scale, then this might actually be something that you're looking for. Anyway, that's enough. Let's unbox it, give you a good in-depth look, and see what you get in the package. Plus, give you some comparisons between the Zombie and the Bison to show you the size difference. Okay, now here is the ZD Racing Pirates 2 MT8. Now quickly down here it says 1/8 scale, ready to run, electric 4-wheel drive, and it includes a 2.4 GHz controller, discharge of batteries, and go. Now it does come in different colours, obviously orange and yellow, and a black and yellow. I do have this one right here. And here we got some more specs. Now it's all metal large bore shocks, 4-wheel independent suspension, got a powerful 2150 kV brushless motor, T6 aluminium chassis there, raw approved 35C 11.1 volt 3000 milliamp hour LiPo battery, and it's also got a programmable 80 amp brushless ESC, which it says is splash proof. Now this looks pretty interesting here to me, capable of speeds of 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometers an hour. I'll definitely do a speed test on that in an upcoming video. Quick specs about the length: 471 long, 380mm wide, 230mm high, and it does have a total weight of 3.1 kilos and 60mm ground clearance. But that's enough. Let's go see what you get inside. Now I must admit I'm not the biggest fan of ZD's 2.4 GHz controllers, but they work, and they only use 4 AA batteries. It's got space for 8, but as you can see only requires 4. Or your standard array of buttons is either throttle trim, steering trim, your throttle and steering reverse switches, and your steering dual rate. It does have like a cushion here on the steering grip and a collapsible 2.4 GHz antenna. That's it, not much else to go on about. It does the job, it's not too bad in the hand, just doesn't look the best. And of course the B3 Pro compact charger. Now this bad boy can charge up to 2-cell or 3-cell LiPo, and that's done by the balance lead. So you just plug your 2-cell or 3-cell balance lead in there and let it charge. I wouldn't recommend using these chargers for long periods of time. I would recommend buying a decent hobby grade charger, but at least you get one in the box and get you out of trouble. Now here is the manual for the Pirates 2. It's a strange name. MT8 from ZD Racing. It's all in English, easy to understand, does have nice exploited views of all the differentials and all the parts and stuff like that. So if you do break it, or if you need to put it back together, it's very easy to do so. Shock absorber assembly, and it's also got a whole list of the parts, so if you do break it, you know what to order. And you also get a couple of cable ties, some 3M double-sided tape, and it looks like some sleeves for the servo, in case you have different servo horns you want to use. These are like adapters. Forgot to mention in the box you also get a bind plug and a little antenna tube. Okay, now there is the car itself. It does look very nice actually. I'm quite impressed with it just from a sheer appearance standpoint. Colours pop, and actually the whole car seems nice, and the suspension is very nice as well. Not a bit of bounce at all in there. Now like I do with all my unboxings, let's have a look at the body first. Okay, now the body does look nice. The graphics do look cool. The colours definitely do pop. Everything looks nice. No issues here. Nice and flexible. On par with like the, it seems a little bit stiffer than the Bison or the Cheetah, but yeah, not far behind. Definitely is flexible enough and it won't crack on the first impact. But here we go. I haven't really seen this particular chassis used anywhere else. I don't think it's a copy. I think it's ZD's own, but if anyone has any more information about that, leave them down in the comments so I can go check it out. First off, we have our receiver in this little water, I guess, splash proof or dust proof box in here, and underneath that is your 9 kilo metal geared steering servo. Also includes a servo saver in there, so if you have so many nasty bumps, it doesn't just rip the servo gears a new one straight away. And while I'm here, you can also notice here different adjustments here for your linkages, and this piece here is actually a nice piece of aluminium. Now here we have our 80 amp ESC, and this looks very familiar to the one that's in the JLB Cheetah. So it says it's splash proof. I wouldn't go anything else other than a little bit of water. Don't run it through big puddles, but it is splash proof to a degree. But yeah, that looks very similar to the JLB Cheetah ESC. And here we have our 4-pole brushless 21 kV motor. I do like the nice blue anodized here. It's got a beefy aluminium motor mat and kind of acts as a heat sink as well. Get a nice close up here. It does seem very accessible. No issues there. Changing the mesh if you need to. And you do have a metal pinion meshed up to a plastic center differential spur gear there. Now here we have the 3-cell, apparently RAW approved, 3000 milliamp hour 35C LiPo battery. Good for around about 15 to 20 minutes, I guess, on moderate use. And if you have the stock charger, I think it'll probably take around about 2 hours to charge this. So yeah, I recommend getting a hobby grade charger. It also has DIN connectors. Now it looks like it'll fit a generic size hard case battery, so I don't think space will be an issue. It's held down via these 3 Velcro straps, so I don't think it's coming out in a hurry. Now obviously it does have 3 differentials. They are all metal geared as well, and it's connected via this traditional style dog bone drive shafts. They roughly measure at 4.3 millimeters, so plenty thick, and should be more than enough to take the abuse. Now if we continue along with the drive shafts, as you can see, here's a front differential and your traditional style dog bones as well. Up to your C or your hub carriers here, and they are very thick plastic here. No aluminium, but it does look very thick, and they are adjustable. You have some adjustments here. Traditional style turnbuckle on the upper arm, and you also have a sway bar up front as well. Now you also have this adjustment, like I mentioned before, up here, and that is nearly 5 millimeters thick aluminium plate here. Now that's the same setup at the rear. You also have your nice sway bar, your massively thick shocks, and they also do have shock boots as well to protect them from dust and debris and all that, which is a nice touch. Plenty of adjustments as well on the front and rear shock tails, and these are 5 millimeter thick aluminium, and they have this nice kind of champagne color on all the aluminium parts here. As I mentioned before, the shocks are all aluminium and they are coilover style. They have very nice dampening from the factory. I would not change that at all, but obviously I need to give it a drive to see how it handles. But there is very little spring in this. I'm very impressed how this comes standard form. Now for all you playing at home, the diameter of this actual cylinder here is 17 mil, so it is plenty thick, and it definitely does look plenty strong, and hopefully we'll definitely see with my driving. I'll take it to the skate bowl, see how well it holds up. Now there is bracing for the front and rear of the chassis. As you can see, you have a rear brace coming off the rear differential attached to the middle of the chassis here, and that also follows through. This particular front chassis brace attaches a steering mechanism and also has a brace coming off there onto the middle of the chassis. Now your chassis is 6061 aluminium plate. Everything is nicely countersunk, and it is 3 millimeters thick. It also has this nice like champagne color, same as a shock tower and the actual shock absorbers. Now while we're underneath, we'll have a look at the bottom sides of the A-arms or the suspension arms. They do look plenty thick, and the rubber seems a little bit flexible, so it's not brittle and won't just snap on first impact, but they look very thick, and well, I guess proof's in the pudding when we give it a good old test. Now I've been going over the car, and all I can see is Allen head or hex head screws, which is great. No Phillips heads here. That's the only Phillips head I see, but that is not relevant to the car. That's the fan on the ESC there, so that's good. Now these are 17mm, which is great, so you can put heaps of different styles of wheels and tyres if you don't like the stock ones. Now on the wheels and tyres, the tyre does feel nice. The compound is not too hard, not too soft. It feels pretty good. It obviously is foam filled, and the tyres are very low profile, as you can see, and these wheels are a nice gloss black. They do look cool. Now the plastic on these shock towers and stuff is very nice and pliable. As you can see, it bends very easily, and you can also adjust the ride height of the body with these two screws here. Undo those, you can lift it up or put them down, and that's the same as the back as well. And I'll guarantee to get asked this in the questions. So here's a size comparison between the good old popular Vicar Bison there, and as you can see, the wheelbase is very similar. It's just the overall tyre diameter of the ZD Racing 1/8 scale monster truck is a bit greater. And here is another 1/8 scale monster truck, one of my favourites as well, the DHK Hobby Zombie AD. It is a 1/8 scale, and as you can see, the wheelbase is very similar as well. The thing about this, the ZD Racing, it is much cheaper than the Zombie. This at the moment is just under 330 Australian dollars. So what's that, about 250 US? Not entirely sure, don't quote me on that, but go check it out, it is very cheap. So from first impressions, just by going over it like this, it does look very nice. Like I said earlier, the 1/10 scale smaller monster truck that I have, the ZD one, it goes extremely well. It runs on 3S, it goes crazy. I have broken the rear shock towers, they were plastic, but I also did give it a hard time. So I do like the ZD range so far. They seem to be great value for money, and you can also get parts. I think the parts for this will be coming soon to GearBest. That's where this is from. They kindly sent this to me for review, so I'll leave the link down in the description if you want to go check that out. Like always guys, any questions, please leave them down below, and I always try to answer them ASAP. Stay tuned for a speed test of this bad boy and also a running video. And if you haven't, please subscribe guys. It is for free and it's easy to do. Just smack that subscribe button. That's it guys, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.